Think you crazy, say you hate me. Sean play crazy like why you hate me. You pray for better is what you asking for. I give you better than what you asking for. Tired of the arguing, all the hollering in the back.
Hello, and welcome to Barbershop.talk podcast. Now, this is the podcast that was voted one of the most entertaining podcasts in the city of Indianapolis. That's right. I am in Out the Way studio here located in Indianapolis, and I'm with my co-host, and that is KC.
Thank you, J. Rod. It is a pleasure to co-host Barbershop.talk podcast here in Out the Way Studios. I look forward to presenting topics we discuss in the shop, as well as the manner in which we discuss them. This would include the gamut from analytical to anecdotal, from critique to humor and fun, all in an attempt to present to the audience the real flavor of Barbershop Talk.
Alrighty. Hey, you know something, KC?
Mm-hmm.
That reminds me, that saying that you just said,
Yeah.
is when we first started our podcast, our intro is very similar to that.
It was.
It was.
Yeah, I reached back, J. Rod.
Oh, you reached back. Now, we had a little different song back in the day now.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't quite that tune. I'm going to see if I can pull that up real quick, KC, to give our listeners, our longtime listeners, a reminder of what we used to sound like back in the day. Now, also, I think we just did that on Spotify, right? Because I don't think
Right,
that
it was all audio back then.
totally audio. And so if I can find, matter of fact, I'm going to just see if I can play it like this. It may not be clear. It may not be the clear as KC, but I just want to give people an example of what we used to sound like. So here we go. This is, now believe it or not, KC, this is back in September 28th, 2021.
2021?
That's right.
I was still a young man back then, J. Rod.
It depends on the definition of young man. Mentally, maybe. Physically, no way.
Younger than I am today.
All right, here we go, KC. Listen to this. Our old intro.
Mm-hmm. All right, welcome to Barbershop.talk. This is the podcast where we talk about things concerning your community, things concerning you. You talked about it in the barbershop on Saturday, and we are going to talk about it today on our podcast. Hello, my name is J. Rod, and I am your host. I am in Out the Way Studio in Indianapolis, Indiana, and I am joined with my co-host, KC. Thank you, J. Rod. It's a pleasure to co-host Barbershop.talk podcast.
You know something, KC? You sound a little younger back then.
I told you, man.
You seem a little younger in the voice. But you got to admit, KC,
Mm-hmm.
I think I preferred that song versus our current song. It's pretty close. But that just brings me down to memory lane.
Yeah.
It does. Now, before I say anything, KC, I got to say, my heart, I have to say, welcome back to the studio. You was out for a while.
Mm-hmm.
You had your little... Now, we didn't want to say this in the last podcast because I didn't know if I was violating HIPAA act or rules. But I put it out there that you was out on medical leave. We didn't say what, though.
Right.
But welcome back. And how's your recovery, by the way?
It's going well, J. Rod. It's going well. It was a little rough at first, but it's rapidly improving. So
Good. Now, the person who shot you, did they find him? Are they arrested?
they got him. And it's a good thing they got him, because I was going to get him.
Now, listen here.
I still might get him.
You just made... But let me...
I might get like some traffic violations so I can get incarcerated for a few days just so I can get him.
All right, just want to clear up things.
Mm-hmm.
KC did not get shot. I just made that up and see how he could reply to it. But I'm going to go ahead and get right into business, KC, because it's been a while since we've been together. But our topic today is that we are going to grade Trump in the United States based on videos that were received to us from our listeners.
Okay.
All right, so now if I don't know if you remember, but I'm going to explain to you now. A is outstanding, excellent. F is failure. And it was A, B, C, D, and F, and C was average.
All right.
Yeah. Now, you probably remember the lower end of that range, C, D, and F, because I think that was your grades when you was in school. But the A and B is where you do very well. I just wanted to remind you. That's all.
There actually was A and B.
Yes, there was. That's
Huh.
right. That's right.
Nobody ever told me.
Okay. See, that is why I explain things, Casey. That is why I explain things. So let's take a look at the video. And remember, we are grading the country in Trump on how we're doing so far. So let's go into the first one. I think the first category that they sent in was about how are we doing as a country? How is Trump is doing as administration, holding people accountable?
We are going to hold criminals accountable. Oh, great. Do you mean the perpetrators from the Epstein files? No. Do you mean the ICE agents who keep murdering people? No. What about the companies that sell our data and surveil us? No. How about insanely wealthy people who do financial crimes? No. Okay. How about health insurance companies who deny medical care and therefore put people's lives in jeopardy? No. Insurrectionists? How about them? No. Corporations who are knowingly poisoning us for profit? No. Then what criminals are you talking about? Immigrants, but just the brown ones. Even if they're here illegally, even if they're children.
You know, that has a lot of truth to it. I do not think, I do not think that they're holding anybody accountable at all.
Oh, absolutely not.
Now let me ask you this, Casey. When you hear the term brown people, who do you think about?
Well, I know when they refer to brown people, they're referring to like Latinos.
Right, Mexicans.
Well, not Mexicans, Hondurans, you know, Venezuelans, you know, all the Latinos.
Yeah, now see that's my point. See, you just start hearing about black people, brown people recently. I would say within the last 5 years. And the reason they have done that, in my opinion, is to continue to divide us.
Yeah.
See, because they started off, I don't know if you remember, Casey, they said people of color.
Yeah.
See, that spectrum was too big. That means every time you hear a person of color and you're a person of color, you're going to pay attention. Now they divided it where we're going like, oh, that's a brown people's problem. That's a black people problem. Right. And that way some people start shutting off.
But everybody understand, if you of any color, then when they talk about one color, they're talking about all colors.
That's right. And when they divide us, man, they just start trying to put that emotional damage on you. Emotional damage. That is what they do. They should just cut it out completely. Get some help or something.
Yeah.
Because you remember that old commercial with Michael Jordan when he said, "Stop. Need some help."
No, I don't.
Oh, okay, I'm gonna play that for because we need to bring this back.
Stop it. Get some help.
That was his commercial.
That was Michael Jordan?
That was Michael Jordan.
That was what he's saying to the other team?
No, that's what he was saying now to our politicians today world. All right, so saying that, we're going to get to, are we holding people accountable in this country? And you got to justify your grade, Casey.
Okay.
You got to justify your grade. So I'm going to let you go first. What do you think?
Hell no, we're not holding people accountable. You know,
put hell no into A, B, C, D, or F.
F minus.
All righty.
I mean, you got government running amok. You got people holding all these positions they're not qualified for. You have the Congress who has the ability to rein that in, but instead of doing their job, they're supporting this madman as a sycophant.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think so.
I don't think they are, Casey. I just don't think they are. Now, I do have to say that it is what I call selective accountability. Right? I think that the Trump administration take a group of people or one of his enemies, his political enemies, and he tried to hold them accountable, falsely hold them accountable. I'll call that selective accountability. But overall, I got to give him an F, and that F stands for failure. We are not holding people accountable, and I think that video demonstrated in a very simplistic way, but spot on.
Correct.
All right. We're going to move on. They said another category. They're talking about, we got to do a grade, Casey.
Okay.
A, B, or C. Now, this is an unusual category because they're talking about grade them on how Trump is making money. Not the individual, Trump. So let's check this out.
I'm not naive about the fact that the President of the United States made $1.5 billion plus in the last 12 months. Personally,
when a sitting governor says that on camera, you know something massive just broke. He made $1.4 billion in his first year back in office. The New York Times just proved it. And the White House is hoping you don't see this. This week, the New York Times editorial board did something no one else has done. They tracked every dollar flowing into the first family's pockets since January 2025. What they found is staggering. $1.4 billion, not over a decade. Not from a lifetime of business deals. In 1 year, while sitting in the Oval Office. Think about what you make in a year. Now multiply that by 16,122. That's what one family made while you were struggling to pay rent. But here's the thing, and this is where it gets really dark. The Times says this number is conservative. The real total, they can't even calculate it because so many deals are hidden. So the question isn't just how did they make $1.4 billion? The question is, what did they have to sell to get it? Let me show you something. Before he took office again, his net worth $3.9 billion. 9 months later, $7.3 billion. He almost doubled his wealth as president. Now, the Times could only verify $1.4 billion in actual transactions. The rest is buried in crypto accounts and private deals we'll never see. But that $1.4 billion, that's the smoking gun, because every single dollar has a string attached. $867 million came from cryptocurrency.
With today's signing, the future of crypto and the crypto industry, the U.S. dollar working together because they really are hand in hand.
But here's what they're not telling you. When foreign governments and corporations buy his crypto, they're not investing. They're buying access, secret payments, untraceable influence, all while he's making policy decisions that affect those exact same people. Then there's the $23 million from overseas, hotels in Oman, towers in India, golf courses in Saudi Arabia. You know what all these projects have in common? They need government approval, foreign government approval, from countries that desperately need favors from the United States. Coincidence? Here's where it gets worse. American companies paid him $90.5 million in legal settlements. Paramount wrote a check for $16 million after a dispute. 3 weeks later, 3 weeks, his regulators approved their $8 billion merger. But the most brazen, Qatar gave him a $400 million private jet, a flying palace. Days later, he's on stage promising to protect Qatar with American military forces.
I could be a stupid person to say, oh, no, we don't want a free plane. You should be embarrassed asking that question. They're giving us a free jet. I could say, no, don't give us. I want to pay you.
This isn't corruption hiding in the shadows. This is corruption in broad daylight because he knows no one will stop him. Now let me tell you what was happening to you while he was collecting billions. Roughly 1.3 million Americans are expected to lose their health insurance, gone, because of cuts to Medicaid. More than 20 million Americans are now paying more for health care because subsidies were allowed to expire. About 4 million people, including 1 million children, are expected to see their food assistance either substantially reduced or totally lost. You're losing health care, kids are losing food, and he's depositing $1.4 billion. But it's not random. Watch this. Vietnam fast-tracks a $1.5 billion resort with his name on it. 1 month later, his White House cuts their tariffs. A UAE company drops $2 billion into his business. Weeks later, his administration gives them access to America's most advanced technology. Every time he gets paid, someone gets a favor. Every single time. The New York Times put it perfectly. Throughout the nation's history, presidents of both parties have taken care to avoid even the appearance of profiting from public service. But this president, he's turned the White House into a cash register, and you're paying the price. $1.4 billion in 1 year from your tax dollars, from foreign governments, from corporations buying favors. This is the biggest corruption scandal in presidential history, and it's happening right now. Share this, tag everyone, demand investigations, because if we stay silent, he wins.
Wow, Casey, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a tremendous shakedown of American businesses and our foreign entities for his own personal gain.
Yeah, you know, it's something in that video that reminded me of something when he said, you know, you're going to get a favor. Do you remember when, I think it was during his first term that they recorded a conversation. I think he was talking to Ukraine when they wanted some help, military help. And he said, well, if I do that, you got to give me a favor. You got to do me a favor, something like that. So apparently, you still continue that. But here, let me ask you this, Casey. Now, I think they said he made what, 1.4 billion?
That much has been confirmed. They believe he made much more.
All right, okay. I'm going somewhere with this, Casey. Because that's a lot of money in a short period of time.
Sure is.
Right. So how much Have your wages increased in that period?
37 cents.
Okay, 30 cents. Okay, I got another one, Casey. All right. Has minimum wage increased at all?
Not at all.
No.
In fact, some legislatures are talking about rolling it back.
Oh my goodness! You know, they did say that this is how he's sneaking in money, and I like to compare this to the Trump Foundation because he was doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if he completed some type of services, he'd have, don't pay me,
Mm-hmm.
pay my foundation. And that way, instead of being payment for some kind of activity,
Mm-hmm.
it was like a donation.
Yeah.
And you know, and that has a different tax. A lot of times, a donation don't get taxed at all. It's a
Mm-hmm.
tax credit. So he was hiding his wage, was saying, "Don't pay me, pay my foundation."
Mm-hmm.
Very similar with this
Cryptocurrency.
That's right. Don't pay me. Just go buy some of my coins.
Can't trace that money.
No, can't trace that money.
Yeah.
And there's one other comment. He said they gave us a jet.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I want to know, where do I go to sign up to use that jet since he said us? We.
Yeah. And I think if you use that jet, you can avoid all the TSA lines and stuff, security, right?
No, that's a good point.
So we need to fly out. Hey, let's call them and get that set up, J-Rod.
You know, we need to call that sucker right now.
Yeah, our jet.
That is something. You know, I can tell right now. I'm going to ask Donald Trump, hey, can I use that jet? He going to say,
I don't think so.
I'm almost positive.
I bet if you told him you had some of them girls from Epstein's place, he'd do that. Well, come on.
he probably celebrate that one. But while he's sitting back making all that money, it seems like he's the only one that's making some type of gain from that.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So A, B, C, D, or E, or F.
What's the actual thing we're grading? His
method of making money.
Oh man, it's an F, man. F minus. Come on, man. Is it legal?
He made 1.4 billion, KC.
Well, I mean, the result may have been beneficial for him, but the process, oh man, is all corrupt.
Oh my! I'm gonna act like I'm an IPS.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna give him an A, but I'm gonna give him an F for cheating. That's what I'm gonna do. That's how I'm gonna grade him, KC.
So you turn in a test, but the teacher know you cheated.
Mm-hmm.
You got all the answers correct, so it would have been an A.
Yeah.
But what does the teacher get?
He gives you an F.
All right.
For cheating, that's what I'm saying. I give you an F on the surface, but then with a cross, I give you an F for cheating. That's what I'm going to do to Donald Trump. Okay. All right, now let's see how his supporters are doing.
Mm-hmm.
I need to say I'm sorry. I voted for him. I thought he was going to help folks like me. I really did. Now my SNAP's gone, my Medicaid's gone. They cut off my heat and help last week. I don't know how I'm supposed to buy groceries next month to keep the lights on. Damn!
Now, it is not nice to laugh at people with emotional damage.
Emotional damage.
That is not nice at all.
I got a bad feeling about this.
I do too. But okay, Casey. Okay, first of all, let's make a remark on the video. What do you think about their supporters and how they're feeling right now?
You know, they're feeling the way they should feel because they should be hurting because they voted for policies that they knew was going to hurt us because they didn't really care about the policy. There was a key phrase that she said out of all of that really stood out to me.
What was that?
She said, I thought he was going to help people like us. So she wasn't voting for Trump to do good things for all of America. She thought he was going to help elevate a specific group above others. And, you know, she thought, implement all this white privilege stuff above all others. And now she finds out she's caught up in the mix with all this stuff he's doing that he said he was going to do to people of color. It's affecting her too. So. Say what?
I think you are absolutely correct. You know, because I think they're feeling the pinch, right? They didn't think they was going to feel it. They thought that every policy, racial policy that he implemented was going to hurt other groups and not them. but they got a big surprise.
I think it's more than a pinch. It's like a vice grip now.
It may be. If you would have asked a Trump supporter, do you think these racist policies going to impact you? This is what they would have said.
Oh, hell no, man.
But they got a turnaround because it hurt them bad. They just is feeling like everybody else, and especially now with the gas prices going sky high.
Yeah. And here's the thing: if gas prices are extremely high for a short period of time, that's a rough little hill to climb, right? But if they're extremely high for an extended period of time, it's no longer a hill; it's a mountain, because then it starts to affect everything else in the economy, because the prices of the transportation goes up for everything.
Stop it. Get some help.
Now, okay, I got a different twist on this one, KC. It depends on what caused it for a short period of time. See, I'm not giving any grace because of the price going up, maybe temporarily because of the war. Now, you get your grace, in my opinion. Let's say that there was an accident to a pipeline or something was disrupted or it was mechanical. Then I'm just going to have to deal with it.
Yeah.
But if it was unnecessary, like I feel this war was unnecessary, I can't go that route. I don't care short, mid, or long term. If it was preventable, such as war,
100% preventable.
That's right. No can do. Now we got to go back, and I said, what were we doing here? Was we rating the supporters?
Yeah, rating the Trump supporters. Well, I say A because you get what you deserve, but also F because you effed around and effed out.
That's exactly right. Let's go, KC. Yeah. You're right. I'm giving you F because you effed around and you found out. So you got a big fat. Is there such thing as the F minus?
Ain't no time to dig up my old grades, J.
All right, okay. I'm just going to stick with the F. I'm going to stick with the F. All right, so we got it now. We're going to grade them on this next topics. And it just have the topic, it just says riches. The richest. So let's see what that's all about.
Amazing news, everyone. We are the richest country in the history of the world. Yeah, so we've heard. Can we have healthcare? No. That would never work. Can we have affordable housing? Why would we do that when there's private equity? What about public transportation? Well, think of the auto industry. Come on. Can we have childcare and parental leave? No, we're gonna need you to get back to work. Can we take care of our planet? Stop. Don't let the guys from Big Oil hear, okay? You'll hurt their feelings. Can we raise the minimum wage? You already get $7 an hour. They'll be so greedy. Can we make college accessible? Well, then how would we even keep you in debt? Thing. Sorry. So what can we have? War. We can always afford war. It's kind of our thing.
Oh boy. We're the richest country in the world.
Some of us are.
That's right.
The vast majority of us are not.
I think you are so right. You know something?
He needs some milk.
We need a lot of milk because this is not working out for me. Because it seems like to me, if we the richest country in the world, that the citizens are not receiving the benefit.
Yeah.
Let me give you something correlates with this, Casey, and hopefully our listeners can relate to it. I work for this company, right? In 1 year, we had this big old national meeting, and they're talking about we broke the record as far as making profit in the history of the company. And everybody clapped, yay! But then had to ask questions. Here's some of the questions. Do we get a pay increase? The answer, no. They said, can we have a couple of things added to the lunch menu? The answer, no. They said, can we get the elevator fixed? The answer, no. This is what this reminds me of. You know, you talk about being the richest country in the world, but the citizens are not getting the benefits from that, Casey. Not at all. It bothers me.
Yeah, so here's what the Trump followers didn't realize when he was talking about Make America Great Again. When America had its foundation, it was a country of the rich, for the rich, by the rich. Every law that was passed by wealthy people, and it was passed to benefit them. And he's basically bringing that back. They thought, okay, what he's talking about is making, white privilege and white people superior to black people in our society and our standards. But no, he's not. He's just a lot of rhetoric. What he's talking about is empowering the wealthy. And now you're feeling it.
I think you got a point. I think this is I think this is the song. I just picked it out, KC.
Yeah.
I think this is the song that the rich people are singing right now.
Here comes the money.
Here we go.
Money talk. Here comes the money. Money, money.
Now,
yeah, we can't sing that song.
No, we can't sing that song. But their tune going to change because as soon as they have a change of administration and they start holding people accountable, this is what's going to be in their ear.
Why are you running? Why are you running? Yeah? What? You owe me money. You have to give me back my money. Which money?
That's right. You're going to have to get that money back. So they can stop singing their little happy song.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since I've been able to sing that song, Casey.
Oh, yeah. Like about 2 years.
2 years it is.
But now here's the thing. So, the question was, is America the richest country? Well, we're the richest country, huh?
Yep.
But how come our standards for the people are lower than most other countries in the world?
Man.
All democratic elected countries provide free health care, and many provide free higher education for its citizens.
Do you want to see your house
That's
or any
a
other
good
place from
point,
satellites
Casey.
outside the Earth?
But what we have is an administration that is making it more expensive and less accessible to have health care. Health care should be a right, not a privilege.
I agree with that. I think that the way our healthcare system is set up is just totally need to be destroyed and recreated.
Yes.
We had a chance to have free healthcare in this country, and we turned that down. Now again, F around and find out. Here's some other things that, remember, you voted for this. Now remember, there was a time that the United States had some of the most obese people in the world. After he took that SNAP benefit,
they starting to slim down, ain't they?
yeah, big time. He snatched those SNAP benefits. That is okay. I better cut that out. I'm going to quit saying that. All right, I'm gonna move on here, KC. I'm gonna move on.
Oh, we giving a grade on this, Jay?
Oh, we should. What was that topic again?
Okay, so it was the U.S. is the richest country in the world.
Oh, that's right. We should give a grade on that. Oh my God.
So I'm gonna give a D.
Okay.
And the reason is gross domestic product. Yeah, we're still number one in the world in terms of total everything that we produce. However, in terms of per, what do you call it, like per citizen, per person or whatever.
Yeah, okay, I got
We're not among the leaders in the country because most of our wealth is concentrated into a small group of people.
Yeah, that's a good point, Casey. See,
per capita, I guess.
All right, this is how I would have graded, Casey. Being the richest, I would have gave you a high grade. I would have gave you A or B. But however, you didn't show your work. So therefore, I'm going right what you was talking about. You're in the D category. In fact, I'm gonna give you D minus, just slightly over F. You should have showed your work, but you didn't. So I'm giving you a D minus. All right, we got another one here. This might be our last topic here, and it's about how we go about working with our allies, how we go about getting help from our allies. All right, here we go.
We strongly encourage other nations whose economies depend on the Strait far more than ours. So we want them to come and help us with the Strait. Numerous countries have told me they're on the way.
A few moments later.
Well, we don't need too much help, and we don't need any help, actually. And I didn't do a full court press because I think if I did, they probably would be. But we don't need help.
So is President Trump asking for NATO's help to try and reopen the Strait of Hormuz or not?
Well, at least today he says we don't need their help. But why did Trump make that quick turnaround after he explicitly asked for help from our allies just yesterday? Well, I'll give you 3 concrete examples of what happened. This is a statement from the German Chancellor's office, who responded to Trump's call for help in the Strait by saying, "This war has nothing to do with NATO. It's not NATO's war. NATO is a defensive alliance, an alliance for the defense of its territory." The UK Prime Minister insisted that Britain would not be drawn into the wider war. He said British troops should only be sent into action that is legal and has a proper, thought-through plan. And then just today, French President Emmanuel Macron said, "We are not party to the conflict, and therefore France will never take part in operations to open or liberate the Strait of Hormuz in the current context." See, when the United States wants to get involved in some kind of military conflict or war, if they are seeking the help of the NATO allies to conduct that operation, generally, not always, but generally, those allies are informed and consulted before the United States takes the action. Not after, before. And then a long and sometimes drawn-out process of coalition building happens. President George W. Bush used to call it a coalition of the willing. But in the case of Iran, we know that the Trump administration and Israel not only did not inform the NATO allies before this war began, but the U.S. reportedly also did not inform our Middle Eastern allies in Kuwait and UAE, Bahrain, and Saudi Arabia, and they ended up being hit by Iran as a result of these U.S. and Israeli strikes. On top of that, don't forget that President Trump has spent the last year back in office berating our NATO allies. Now, that's not my opinion. That's a fact. We all watched just a few months ago when President Trump openly said that the U.S. was going to take Greenland by force if necessary. Greenland, of course, is a territory of Denmark, which is a NATO ally. Trump has also said repeatedly that the United States is NATO and the rest of the alliance would be nothing without the U.S. and has threatened to pull the U.S. out of NATO. And on top of that, Trump has individually criticized the leaders of almost every NATO country about their domestic policies on everything from immigration to energy and even to culture war issues. So think about your own work life. Imagine you and your colleagues are technically all on the same team because you work for the same company. But imagine you have one colleague that does nothing but trash the work you produce, trash you as an employee, and openly campaigns that you are unnecessary to the company. And then one day that same colleague comes to you after all that trash talking and demands your help on a project that he or she is knee-deep in. What do? Well, in the case of the NATO allies right now, they're saying no, because they were not consulted prior to this war, and because they see this as an aggressive move by the United States, who was not attacked first, and because they see Trump making this decision unilaterally. That's what the German chancellor meant by saying NATO is a defensive alliance. NATO is activated when one of its member nations is attacked, not when the president of the United States just decides to go to war before being attacked first. But that's the part that President Trump isn't really telling you about why these NATO allies are saying no. And instead, he's trying to frame it like this.
I think NATO's making a very foolish mistake. And I've long said that, I wonder whether or not NATO would ever be there for us. So this was a great test, because we don't need them, but they should have been there.
The fact is, the one and only time that Article 5 of the NATO Alliance Treaty has ever been invoked was after the United States was attacked on September 11th. And in that case, every single NATO ally came to the defense of the United States and sent troops to fight alongside the United States in the Middle East for decades.
Wow, that was a mouthful right there, Casey.
Yeah.
Now, there is one small aspect that I kind of disagree with that, because they had a statement from France.
Yeah.
And that wasn't the statement from France. The statement was France, and I'm going to quote it. Bonjour, the French people, we are lovers, not fighters. I think that's what they said, KC.
Yeah. Now, I actually like the British response as well.
Mm-hmm.
They basically said, we're not helping because it's not a legal war. So they're saying what Trump did is illegal, and it was. It was unprovocated. It was unnecessary, and it was an illegal strike. And that illegal strike also led to the deaths of 135 schoolgirls in Iran, which he wouldn't even show any remorse for.
Right. And and didn't really acknowledge that all.
Yeah.
Now here's a couple of things I got to say. First of all, he's asking for help.
Mm-hmm.
In the past, you normally consult your allies, which you getting ready to do.
Right.
Let me tell you, none of them heard this, Leon. None of them, Casey.
Because when you hear that, shit's going down.
That's right. That's the universal call. Stuff is going down. So he didn't consult them, didn't do anything, kicked up all the dust, and then all of a sudden going to ask for their help. I would say no to. No.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Right. And the thing is, there is no justification for this war. He can't explain it to the American people, because if he was to explain it, it would incriminate himself.
Ooh, that's a good one, KC.
Basically, Israel and not Netanyahu specifically talked him into this war, right? Because Netanyahu needs war to keep himself out of jail.
That's right.
As soon as they have some peacetime, he's facing some criminal charges, a lot of criminal charges, and that's going to be the end of him. And so he needs this war to keep going so they can't get to that point.
Mm-hmm.
Trump needed a diversion from the Epstein stuff.
Ooh, tell me about that, Casey.
Yeah, because they were forced to release more of these files on these Epstein cases that the DOJ tried to hide or redact, severely. Mm-hmm. And these other files contain a whole lot of Trump stuff, including a 13-year-old girl that said she was sexually assaulted by Trump and punched, physically assaulted by him, and many other cases. Trump's name is mentioned over 5,000 times in these files, and most of those files have been kept away from the public. So he needed a big diversion for that.
I think that's a good point. In fact, they also document, I think he made 4,800 payments.
Yeah.
I had to throw that in there, Casey. I mean, why would you make 4,800 payments to Epstein?
Right, and he doesn't have a legitimate business.
I'll tell you why, Casey.
Mm-hmm.
What do you go like? Yeah.
And there's several layers to this as well. So, another layer is the fact that they stole a lot of this Venezuelan oil.
Mm-hmm,
well, Venezuelan oil is the heaviest crude that's out there, and most petroleum plants can't process it as it is. It has to be have specialized equipment, or it has to be mixed chemically with some very light grade oil in order for these plants to be able to process it. And Iran has the lightest crude of all these oil suppliers. And what has been going on prior to Trump getting involved with this thing is Venezuelan oil and Iranian oil were being shipped to the same places, and they were being combined and then processed. And so now he's got this Venezuelan oil, but he needs some extremely light crude to mix with it so it can be processed. So that's another layer that's on there as well.
It's a lot of layers, and all the layers, tell the truth, it's just not. It don't smell good. No. None of it smells good. All right. What I'm going to do here is, I'm going to go ahead and I'm looking at our time here, running short. So based on that, I am going to go ahead and close today with our saying. So here we go, Casey.
I want to thank you for listening to Barbershop.talk podcast. Please tell your family, friends, and enemies about our podcast, Barbershop.talk, available on your favorite podcast platforms. Let's have peace in the streets. Be safe, be wise, and be loved.
And we say,
go mob.
Bad bitches, money count on, cash on me. Shawty blew my phone, that's corny. That's a no-no. I'm tryna hustle, that why.